focusing on the second half, trying to get all the various shifts and differences from the first half. So we're going to start with just the second half, try to keep the focus the same. But if you are from the advanced class and you are missing the first half that we covered last unit in this class, you can start watching the beginners classes, streaming those, or go find the videos from last unit and get those. Stand.
Yes, sir.
Sir. Stand tall.
Yes, sir.
1, 2, up. I said the second half. I do that every class. I did it last class too. I was like, did I just say? She was like, yeah. Okay, so here we go. So off the shoulder, we just got through jumping and doing our cuts. So now we're here. So now we're going to cut and cross behind, pressing down. Now we're going to cat stance, block up, cat stance, cut, up, roll, the saber and lift, step and strike. Boom. Same thing, yes. Set yourself up for success, twist the hips. Block and shift, push off and step back. Now unlike the first half where we step and strike, we're not going to lunge, we're going to block, opening, and step forward, cut across at the waist. Press, leg open and back leg front kick, step, strike with the hilt, shift, and block up. Cross behind and cut up. Step forward and press. Roll and step back, lifting the left knee. Give a little tilt for momentum, step twice. 1, 2. Shift back and clear the blade. Block and pivot the right foot in, turn, shift, step back with the left. Continue turning, opening the hands. Step forward with the right, cutting up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Add the left hand and press. Press and open. We're going to do our double front. Switch. Cut and present. Now the closing motions. We're going to cut, twist the feet, and sink. Presenting the blade, we're going to pull in, pivot the left foot so we can cut around, jump around. Cut, 1, 2, present, boom. Out, flip saber, and place in hand. Block back, forward, feet together. So that's the ending that we've been reviewing. One thing that we were focusing on actually is actually very similar to what we were just focusing on in black test training, is the twisting of the hips and when to twist the body and what's what, right? So we're not power-glyphing it. We're not trying to be really, really flat. When you do it, there's space between the hips and we're striking. You're twisting, but you're not straining the shoulder, so you're not trying to be too deep. Like I said, pull back as far as your shoulder will allow, and that's appropriate. The fingers, you want the fingers pointed down. You're simulating grabbing a weapon and pressing. Now we're going to shift and block. Cut. Once we get here, you're going to pivot. If you notice, if you pivot on the heel, you can see your back foot. You're going to step forward to a cat. When you step forward to cats, in this form, a lot of times we're spinning, and we're spinning around to a cat. It's best if you adopt a wider cat stance, because it stops the momentum of the cat versus if you push straight forward. So when I spin, I'm coming back, and I'm pushing off this back leg, I'm going to push and stop that momentum a little wider and tilt because I'm cutting. And then I'm going to cut. Oh, I'll try this from the beginning, but cut across, and then we're going to step forward and press. That's what we're doing. Okay, reset. Give that a try. Run those on your own. I'll step out of the way, but I still want to scoot up. So you don't have long space. Switch your feet, Whisper. Yeah.
starting it from the middle.
Yep. All right. Now that tilt. So sometimes we get the question, well, it looks like you're tilting. Oh, you're telling us not to tilt, not to turn our body and do the 2D thing. So this is what I want to show you how we do that. The stance is correct, right? The stance has space between the legs. It's still a traditional bow stance, and we're still striking forward. Let me do the other side. We're still striking forward. Now what you're seeing is a sink and a twist. That does not mean that we tried to be 2D like this, right? We didn't do this and try to be 2D. We're leaning forward into our strike because we're either envisioning the strike that we're ducking and missing, or the weapon that we took, right? You have to think these are you're not only attacking, you're also evading. So now if we do the same side strike, this one is also pretty tricky. So we pull back and we strike. But y'all see this. So it looks like something like this. And now if you think of commonality of motion, you think about the moves we just did from the drunken section. This is a correct bow stance, but I drove my shoulder over my knee. The bow stance is still correct, right? We just did these. So now if I take my saber and I do the same motion, right? Same thing, just the hand position is different because I have a saber in my hand. So similar the way you sink and then twist the upper body to evade whatever it is that you were blocking, or do a same side one, right? Boom. The bow stance is still correct. Okay? Okay, let's do it one more time together.
Sure.
And I'll give you an opportunity to incorporate that in your mind. Crossing, pressing, okay, block, cut, roll, tilt, flip, block, block, press. Okay, shift, sink into your bow stances, cross, press, just the hips, roll and pull back, twist and lean, boom, 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 pull, block, pivot, stay low, step forward, push up, 1, 2. Press, push, double, cut, reset. We'll take a 1-minute break, come back out on your own and try it a couple more times.
like I'm overthinking the ending. But, so just a circle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like,
Everybody
more
has
or
that.
less.
Everybody has that one. And that's fine. Me and Miss Kelly went over it when she was here. I think it was an early class last week. So, let's see. So we just presented, kind of convenient. So we're gonna cut around. This is one circle. That's gonna happen, right? So that's what the arms do. So it cuts around, boom, and then the hands come out, boom. So from here, I'm gonna cut all the way out. And once this gets all the way to where it can't go anymore, that's when the feet unstick and the sword flips over. Once that happens, then I'm gonna circle the hands in and do the D, right? Go ahead, present. The sword fingers are pointing back to the back of my head, like that way. Yeah, that way. Because you're leaning forward and thinking. So after that, I'm gonna come over here a little bit, so you can see. So after that, boom, we're gonna bring the hand in and pivot this foot in. Because we're gonna take weight out of this leg and lift it. So when I cut this time, it's the same thing. I'm just landing in a cat stance. So I'm gonna cut, 1, 2, and then this hand comes out, and I'm gonna present, boom. So it does one kind of, it seems like an extra circle, but that's because this, I'll show you in a second. So there, fold out, and then here's the formal part, overhead, boom, back, you know that part. So it looks extra, but what that middle circle does is counterbalance the jump, if that makes sense. So from here, and I bring in, pivot, and I cut, 1. That kind of helped me control. That makes sense? Okay, so let me try it. So let's go here, pivot in, lift. So I'm gonna cut, and that's gonna happen during the, and I'm gonna continue circle. So cut, and then present, boom, and we're settled. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know where that came in, but that eventually started, it just kind of naturally comes in there, like that hand just naturally, and it's a nice counterweight once you do it. Okay, so I'm gonna show them what I just did with you. You can practice it on your own a little bit. So what we just focused on was getting that jump around. So we're here, sorry, we're here. We're cutting, this is a full circle that we just went over. So we're full circle and we're gonna unstick the feet. Boom. Now we're gonna hug ourselves again, pivot the left foot in, lift the right foot, and we're gonna cut and extend the arms, cut, open, as we land, 1, 2. Folding back, and hand, right? Back, forward, feet together. Yes, okay, come on up.
Yes, sir. Senior Head Instructor.
Bow to second and first degree black session. Very good job, Master.